And a very good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Sandy Elson, and on behalf of the travel professional community and homebasedtravelagent.com, I want to welcome all of you and thank you for taking time out of your busy day. I'm very pleased that our host today is Passport Online. Our speakers are Sarah Bauman, Passport Online's social media specialist, and Cynthia Yunke, sales and account manager. A little bit about our speakers. Sarah Bauman has been with Passport Online since 2000. She started out on the content team and is currently the social media specialist. Sarah graduated from the Oregon Institute of Technology in 2009 with a Bachelor of Science in Information Technology and Application Development and a minor in marketing, which has helped her become Passport Online's expert in social media, as well as helping in the development of ESP. Sarah lives in Oregon with her Chorky, which is a Chihuahua and Yorkshire Terrier combination. Dog's name is Lola. And Sarah loves trying all the new food carts Portland has to offer. Cynthia is Passport's sales and account manager and has been with Passport Online for the past 14 years. With her background in sales for the last 21 years, Cynthia is always ready to take a call from her customers. Cynthia lives in Oregon as well, and her interests are her 7 grandchildren and her 2 Chiweenie dogs. And a Chiweenie is a combination of a Chihuahua and a Dachshund. Sarah and Cynthia's topic today is your passport to online success, website and social media solutions. This is certainly a timely and important topic for all of us. As always, we really appreciate the support we get from Passport Online. Before we get started, please remember that you are all muted, but we welcome your questions. You can type in your questions at any time in the question area on the right-hand panel of your screen. At the end of the presentation, we will get to as many questions as we can. So let's turn the microphone over to Sarah and Cynthia so they can get started. Welcome, Sarah and Cynthia.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. So Cynthia's going to go ahead and get us started and start telling you a little more about us and about Nexsite.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining today. We're really excited to tell you about our website program. And then, of course, our social media queen, Sarah, will take over and talk about ESP. So welcome. Thank you for spending a few minutes with us. And if there's any of our customers out there, hello, dear friends. And so let's get started. So who is Passport Online? Passport Online, we're the leader in providing online technology solutions to the leisure travel industry for the past 20 years. Our company was started by a travel agent. He thought, there's got to be a way for me to get the content from the tour suppliers, cruise lines, to my agents, to the customers. And back then, we did it with discs. Now with the internet, of course, everything is internet-based. What we do is we work on websites. We create websites. We have our cruise booking engine Tandem. We have email marketing tools, which we work with client base on with those email marketing tools as well. And then, of course, our social media programs. We only work with the travel industry. We provide content from over 100 cruise lines, tour operators, packagers, and resorts. So you're assured that we'll provide you with a successful travel agency website solution, whether it be with a website, email marketing tools, or even social media tools. Here's some of the suppliers that we do work with. And just FYI, I'd be happy to send you a list of all the different suppliers that we work with. And today I'd like to just challenge you. If you have a website provider, I would love for you to go on your website and just do a simple search. Search for like a celebrity cruise for the month of May and see how many cruise offers you have. And then, of course, we would love for you to compare that with our product. Here's what is in our database. We have over 95% of all cruise berths, 15,000 unique itineraries, 130,000 distinctive departures, over 9,000 consortium exclusive. And this is what makes Passport Online different, because we work with the consortiums. Because of that, you'll have their preferred suppliers and all of their exclusive offers. over 25,000 custom websites created by our NextSite customers. So no one else in the industry has the depth of content that we have. We work with over 3,000, we have over 3,000 agency websites. We work with 20 host agencies, which represent about 3,000 independent agents. And we were the winner for the Magellan Award for the year 2012, 2013, 2014 for our NextSite websites. So really, nobody does it better. I would sing this, but I am tone deaf, so I'm not going to do that to
I'm
you guys.
also tone deaf, and so it would be torture for everyone if Cynthia and I did this, so we'll just leave it with the quote.
We have a long-term relationship with all the major consortiums and the host agencies. Here's an example of some of the consortiums and host agencies that we work with. And again, this is great for our agencies because they will have those preferred suppliers and exclusive offers filtered to their website. So really, what makes us different is we have our robust cruise, tour, package, and resort content from over 100 suppliers. We have the contents on your website is going to be consumer appropriate. So it's not going to be information about travel agent related, such as you'll get a certain commission or you know, anything that has to do with travel on the travel agent side. It's more we have the consumer appropriate content. And then, of course, the exclusives, which we'll display first. So that's kind of nice because you want to highlight those preferred suppliers and those exclusive offers. So if someone does a search on your website, let's say they're looking for a Royal Caribbean cruise and you're part of a consortium, that consortium offer will come up with that special pricing on your site for you. And then, of course, there's a call to action that sends the information back to you. You have full control of personalizing your website. You can add pages, you can add links, graphics, images, anything that you want. Now, we know our agents are busy selling travel. We understand that. So we know a lot of times they don't have time to do any of this. That's fine. We have our support staff is here to help you with that because we know you're busy selling travel. So you can send any of this information to us, and we'd be happy to add that to your site for you. And there is no extra cost. That's included in your monthly fee. We have marketing, promotional email tools to help you promote suppliers, to help you promote destinations, and even specific offers you can add to your website. And of course, we're here to help you with that. So we're going to talk about NextSite 2. NextSite 2 is our next generation. We have new designs and layouts with NextSite 2. It's really easy to navigate. Your customers, it's easy for them to navigate on your site. We've updated the slideshow and the banners. We had a lot of requests from our agents saying that, you know, I want to have a rotating banner. I want different pictures to show up on my banner on my homepage. So we've done that. That's all included. NextSite 2 is also supported in all browsers. And then 2, it includes ESP, which we'll talk about later on. So that's our social media program. And then 2, also, we will add your social media tools to your website for you. So you just need to send us the links, and I'll show you an example of how we can do that.
And what's important about that is that it makes it easy for your customers to be able to get to not only your website, but also to then follow you on social media so they can stay connected with you in whichever way they are most comfortable in.
Right. So let's look at a few layout examples here. Now, of course, all of these layouts do have the same banner and the same page, but we're going to go and look at each one, and we're going to see how each agency has personalized those layouts. So here's some of the links that we're going to look at, and of course, I would be happy to send you more examples. So the first site that I wanted to show you, I really like this site, and the reason I like it is it's nice and clean, easy to read. I love their little banner at the top, but my pet peeve is when I go to a website and I can't find the phone number, I usually leave. It's very frustrating. But I love this site because they've added the agent's information, their email, their phone number right at the top, easy for you to find the agent that you want to talk to. So it's a great site.
One of the other things that's important to note about this is not only have they made it easy to find the phone number and email address, also, as you guys know, people are using their phones more and more, and I know it's very rare that I'm looking for something on an actual computer. Most of the time I'm out and I'm trying to call and see if a product's in stock or ask questions about something, and I'm on my phone. If you put these contact phone numbers and email addresses as plain text like they've done here, when someone's looking at your site on their phone, they can simply tap on that phone number or that email address and get in touch with you. It's hard when you're out and you want to get in touch with somebody. If you've got this phone number that's embedded in a graphic, then you have to find, you know, a piece of paper to write it down on so that then you can go into their screen on your phone and call it or try to remember it. And I can't remember anything for more than 5 seconds number-wise, so it's a challenge. But just keep that in mind when you're thinking about how to best present this contact information.
And two, this is a good example, this homepage, they're highlighting a certain supplier and destination, which is Great Safaris. So this is, you have the ability to highlight the suppliers that you want. Here's another great example. Now, this is this banner here. This is a rotating banner, and I love it. The pictures, I wish I could show it to you live because the pictures are beautiful. I'd be happy to send this to you. But it's a nice rotating banner. The text is great because he talks about he's their destination specialist in South Pacific and Asia. And I love how they say, so spend a few minutes, take a look around, and contact us to discuss your interests. We are here for you. So just a nice way to grab that attention of your customer, make them feel at ease. It's just a nice site. I really like it. Another example, this agency, what I like about this is they're highlighting the suppliers that we work with, or that he works with. So you'll notice that he lists the different suppliers or hotels and resorts that he is working with. And then two, another thing, he's under his featured specials, he's highlighting certain suppliers, like he has a Oceania cruise and then an offer from Monograms. Again, you can highlight whichever supplier, destination that you would like to on any of your pages. Oops. I really like this site. Again, this is a rotating banner at the top. The picture changes. It's beautiful. But what I like about this site is the icons there, the destination weddings, faith-based heritage travel, and then the corporate incentives. So here she has each of these little pictures there linked to destination weddings, a page, and then some faith-based travel. So it's a good way to highlight your specialties.
What else I really like about this site, and one of the previous ones we looked at, is they have their search box really high on the page. It's embedded within the photo, so it's one of the very first things you notice because your attention's drawn to that great picture. And then most of the time when I'm going to a site, I'm probably going to be searching for something. So knowing, oh, that's where that is, then it makes it really easy for your customers to know what they're supposed to do, where they're supposed to go, and how to find things.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now this is a different site, and I do like this because this agency has a lot of text on its site. And having a lot of text on your site is really good for search engine optimization. So here he's talking about the types of travel that he does. He's kind of doing a 2-minute elevator speech, but text on his home site. So it's showing his specialties and why we should use this agency. And with our next site, of course, we have search engine optimization tools within it. And I have a great document about simple, easy to understand instructions on how to use a search engine, SEO. So if you would like me to send that to you, I'd be happy to send it to you. Sarah wrote it. I love sharing it with all the agents. And it talks about, Sarah, go ahead.
It talks a little bit about just some general things you can do and keep in mind while you're writing the text on your website. And none of it's hard. It's not technically difficult. You don't need to learn how to use any new programs or anything like that. It's really just things that after you read it, you'll go, well, that kind of makes sense. So it's a good document to look over.
So please feel free to send me an email, and I'd be happy to share it with you. Too, with our next site, we have integration of outside links and widgets. Add about just anything you'd like. We work with MailPound, so we can add the brochure rack to your site. We work with Shore Trips. We can add them as a widget to your site. We will have a hotel booking engine. I'm really excited about that. And just about anything you'd like to add, you can send it to us, and we'd be happy to do that for you. Here's one of my favorite layouts. I love these little stamps on this site. But we've added the brochure rack for them on the home page, so it looks really nice. Another site here, on this cruise page, we added Shore Trips. And Shore Trips is a great program. I went on a cruise a few years ago, and my agent said, hey, I booked the cruise. Why don't you look at Shore Trips and book a trip, excursion, sorry, and you might save some money rather than going through the cruise line. And I did, and we went to Alaska. We did whale watching after as our excursion. It was wonderful, had a wonderful time. My agency got commission on that. I was happy, they were happy, so it's a great program. Here's another example of how we can add your social media icons to your site. I like that we've added it within the banner. We've made it really easy for your customers to find that information.
One other thing about adding it to the banner is you get the benefit of those icons being on every single page. So even if the customer doesn't think about following you on Facebook when they first get to your site, after them poking around for a while and think, wow, these people have a lot of stuff to offer and they seem to know what they're talking about, then later they don't have to go back and try to find it. It's always just right there.
Yeah. Here's another example where we've added social media icons as well. So we have different flavors for you. Now, we talked a lot about having a niche. So a lot of our agencies, we want to encourage them, if they have a niche, you need to focus on that. And of course, we're here to help you with that. Whether it be a destination, weddings and honeymoons, river cruises, you really should focus on that. Great example here, this agency focuses on safaris. So we've created a site for her. This is our next site. We've created a site. In fact, last year she won a Magellan Award for her site. It's a beautiful site. The pictures of the lion, that's a rotating little banner that has different pictures for her safari, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful site. Highlighting her suppliers on the home page too. Another agency here, she has a tab for her destination weddings. So that's her specialty. I like what she says here too. A destination wedding is most successful when planned by an expert who has the knowledge and experience and who will work closely with you and your budget. So, you know, it's a great way to focus on that niche.
I also like that they call out specifically where they've planned destination weddings. So if I think, oh, I was thinking Hawaii, I can see, oh, okay, well, they've done Hawaii before, so they probably obviously know what is required for Hawaii specifically, because that may be different than Mexico or the Caribbean or a cruise.
I really like this site. This agency is focusing on European river cruises only. And what's really cool about this agency is he is only selling for suppliers. He's selling AMA Waterways, Tauck, Uniworld, and Viking. So that is his niche. That's what he's doing, and it's a great site. I love it. I love that he just is focusing on those four suppliers. Another thing that you'll want to do is tell your customers about you. You want to have unique content. What are your personal experiences? You're the expert, so you need to talk about yourself. Where have you been? Why should your customers book with you? Give them a reason to contact you. Now, I'm going to Europe this summer, and I wanted to go to Russia, but I wasn't sure what I needed to go to Russia, if I needed to get a visa, where should I go, how should I get in, how do I get out? So I know of an agency who specializes in just Russian travel. So I called him, and so he's helping us with a side trip to Russia, and I'm really excited about it. But I feel good because I know what he's going to do for me, and I feel comfortable, and he's the expert.
One of the things I've said before is think about it as don't tell your customer to contact you. Make them feel like they can't wait to contact you because they're so excited about how much information you have to offer them that they feel like they have to call you right now even though it's midnight and they can't, so they can't wait for tomorrow.
Right. So here is an example too. This agency is, of course, talking about himself. We answer the questions that you don't know to ask. Great. And so, talk about yourself. Make it easy for your customers to read about you on your site. Another great example here, she's listing her agents, personalized service from individually trained in helping you plan the perfect trip. So it's, it's real easy, not a lot of information, but easy to find. I like this too because here she's talking about she's specializing in warm destination and destination wedding. Her heart's in the Caribbean, so it's great. That's her specialty.
And you can tell from looking at that if I'm thinking, well, I want to go to Jamaica, she's probably exactly who I want to call. She's going to know exactly what I'm looking for in a trip.
Two, I talked earlier about how frustrating it is sometimes to find a phone number on a website. We want to make it as easy as we can for your customers to contact you. Great example, agency has her phone number at the top and her email there at the top as well. So when a customer goes to your site, they'll do a search. They'll look for, let's say, a European river cruise or whatever. Once they find the offer in the system, then what they'll do is call the trip request. So they'll click on the Contact Us button, and that's automatically going to send an email to the agency. The agency is going to have the details of the offer, the supplier, the dates, and they'll have all that information. So we've tried to make it as easy as we can for your customers to contact you. Two, made it easy for them to find your social media tools, your icons, adding your Facebook button, your Twitter, blog, whatever you have, we will add that on to your site for you. Also, ESP, that is something that is available for our agents as well. So, talking about what's included, it's a fully hosted website. If you have a domain that's abctravel.com, you will be able to use that abctravel.com. If you have an email, Susie at ABC or info at abctravel.com, you will be able to use that email account as well. We set up the site, we personalize the site for you. You'll automatically control the supplier content, and you'll have your consortium or host exclusive offers filtered to your site, as well as their preferred supplier list. We have training, weekly trainings, and then of course we have our support to help you. Next site is $55 a month, and there is a one-time setup fee of $150. But you can save $75. We're feeling sorry for everyone because tax day is coming up.
And no one likes tax day.
So you can save $75 if you sign up by the 15th. We'll have more contact information later on. But that's all I have to say about our next site. And what I'm going to do is turn this over to Sarah. Sarah?
Hello, everyone. So we all know social media is huge, and you can't ignore it anymore. I know that for a while people would say, oh, I don't need to be on Facebook. My customers aren't on there. But the reality is more and more people are getting on Facebook every day, so a lot of your clients probably are already on there, and if not, they will be very soon. So let's take a look at some numbers. There are 16 million local business pages that have been created on Facebook. And what it means is that more and more businesses are realizing how incredibly powerful Facebook is and how important it has become as a major channel for them to communicate with their customers. There's also 1.3 billion, I'm going to repeat that, 1.3 billion monthly active Facebook users. So again, you can't really say my customers aren't on Facebook, because they are. And they're on there and they're active. And the more active you are, the more chances you have to be in front of them and have your posts seen by them. So each Facebook user has 130 friends on average. And so what that means is the more people each one of the fans of your business are connected to, the more opportunities you have to reach other people, which is what we mean by viral reach, when a friend of a friend sees something or says it. And so the more people they're connected to, the more powerful it is every time they share one of your posts or post something about you or tag someone in a photo of yours that you've posted. So 6.8 million people are using Facebook mobile. And so what it means is that people are connected to Facebook anywhere, anytime. During their morning commute, they're checking Facebook. While they're at the grocery store, they're looking at Facebook, while they're doing anything. So you want to make sure you're having posts scheduled throughout the day. You don't want to just post one post in the morning anymore and leave it be, because people are going to be on there multiple times a day looking at things, and you want a lot of chances to be in front of them, and you want something different every time you're in front of them. So there's a 22% increase in Facebook users from 2012 to 2013, and they went from around 1 billion users to the 1.3 billion. So it's a pretty significant increase. And so it shows us that really people who weren't on Facebook before and said that they weren't going to be are now, because they're realizing that they need to be on there in order to see what's going on with friends and family. I know some of us, more so than others, are guilty of really just posting things on Facebook and assuming that everybody knew what's going on. So 50% of Facebook users get onto Facebook more than once a day. And as I said before, posting just once a day isn't enough anymore, because people want to see new things every time they log in. They don't want to see the same content from you that they saw earlier this morning when they log into Facebook at lunchtime. So let's take a look at what happens every 60 seconds on Facebook. There's 510 comments posted, 293,000 statuses are updated, and 136,000 photos are uploaded. So that shows you within 1 minute how much content is put onto Facebook. So it shows that on one hand, there are a lot of engaged and really active Facebook users, but the other side is there's also a huge amount of information competing for their attention. So you really have to be conscious about the quality and strategy of your posts. So I'm guessing probably some of you are very confused now. So hopefully we can clear that up in the next couple minutes. So what we hear the most often is, based on all that, I'm not sure what to post. Do I post promotions? Do I post articles? Do I post pictures, videos? What do I do? And how often do I do it? So those are the main things we hear from people. So ESP can help. These are posts that are designed to be engaging and creative, and they're just, again, for the travel industry, like everything we do. We don't do social media stuff for any other industry. It's a completely new solution, and it takes away that confusion component and gives you time to do what matters, which is sell travel and interact with your clients. We do the heavy lifting. We figure out what content to post and get it onto your page for you. So we find fun travel-related content images, and we put them in what we call your posting queue. And you can log into that, see what's scheduled, and those posts will go directly to your Facebook page at a set date and time. If there's a post that you're not interested in, maybe you're a Caribbean specialist and there's a Hawaii post scheduled, completely fine. Click one button and you can opt out of that post and it won't even go to your page. So we've been working with travel agents on Facebook for a little over a year now. And we have over 900 agents that participate with more than 1,000 different business pages that we're posting to. And throughout all of that, we've learned a few things. Number one, best days to post, and number two, the best times to post. Best days to post are Thursday, Wednesday, and Saturday. This was a little surprising to me. I would have assumed Saturday was a good day to post, but I would have thought maybe Friday or Monday would have been the other two. So it was interesting to see that midweek is a little bit more popular than I had thought. And the best times to post. Thursday, 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. are both equally good. Wednesday, 4 p.m. and Saturday at 10 p.m., which, you know, is no surprise to any of the rest of us. 10 p.m. is kind of a good downtime when we're sort of thinking about something easy to do, and checking Facebook on your phone is a good activity then. So we started scheduling some recurring topics within ESP due to how popular they were. Some of these are Wish You Were Here Friday, where we just talk about a different random destination around the world and ask people if that's where they wish they were today. Where in the World Wednesday, which is kind of a little cute guess game almost, where we show a picture where only part of it's revealed and give a little hint about the destination, let people try to figure out where it is, and then later post the actual destination. World Cuisine Wednesday, where we talk about food and drinks around the world, what those are, where they're commonly eaten, where you can find them at, ask people if they've tried them. Travel Quote Tuesday and Travel Tip Thursday. There's also a bunch more, but these were just a few that I wanted to call out.
I love Travel Tip Thursdays because when I went to Italy, I didn't know about the toll booths. And Sarah posted something about knowing the tolls when you go to a different country, and I wish I would have saw that tip before I left.
Although I think it worked out in Cynthia's favor. I think they just yelled at her a little and then realized she didn't understand and let her go. But it would have been helpful if she'd seen the tip.
Yeah.
So how does this benefit you to have all these great posts from ESP? You don't need to spend time every day finding something to post. I know it can take a lot of time to think of something interesting to post just once a day, much less several times per day. You also don't need to spend time finding images that are safe to use. I know a lot of you probably have heard about, you know, copyright, and you can't just go to Google and search for images and just take those images and use them however you want, because there is copyright usually associated with those. So with ESP, you don't have to worry about that, because all of the photos that are used, we all have the rights to use them within social media, so you don't have to worry about anybody coming after you and saying, hey, you used my picture and you weren't supposed to. Your customers will also see something relevant and interesting from you every single day. So yeah, people aren't booking vacations every day, but they're always thinking about traveling. They're always thinking about where their next trip's going to be. So even if they're not consciously aware of it, seeing something from you might spark that. You know, hey, I've been thinking about that. Bali sounds kind of interesting. Maybe I want to pursue that. Also, it's a great supplement to your social media efforts, and we'll talk a little bit more about what we mean by that in just a minute here. So with ESP, you can choose the maximum number of posts you want per day. And as I said, it's a supplement to your custom posts. We want you to still keep creating posts on Facebook that are unique to your agency and happenings in your area and things like that, and you know what's going on with your agents. But we want to take it away from being a stressful thing to where you feel like you have to do that every day, so that way you're doing it on your time frame. When you have something interesting that you want to say, you can take the time to do that and know that there's still other posts that are going out. So one thing to keep in mind, as I said, this is a maximum number of posts that will be sent to your page, not a guarantee of how many. So you may say, I want a maximum of 8 per day. On that given day, we may only have 4 posts scheduled, so in that case, you'd get all 4 of them. So I know you've all been waiting for this. Let's take a look at some of the posts. Here are some of our question posts. Which beach is your favorite? Which would you rather visit next? A lot of these where you're asking questions and a this or that or ABCD type choice posts tend to get a lot of comments from people. You'll get people saying, oh, I like this, or oh, I just went to Aruba, it was great, and we had drinks on this beautiful beach, or we stayed at this great hotel. So that's why some of these posts are really good, is to get that interaction going where your clients are talking not only to you, but to each other. So here's an example of one of the Where in the World posts that I mentioned before. We can see there's a little information about it, and then you can see a little bit of the photo. And here's one of the ABCD type posts. If price was not an object, which of these countries would you rather visit? So here's some examples of the travel quotes posts. And these are usually a real fun quote embedded in the photo and then a really beautiful destination post. And with these, we had a lot of agents saying, you know, where is this photo at? So if you're ever curious and you don't know just from looking at it, you can always log into your post history area within ESP, and in the title of the post, it'll have something in parentheses and it'll say photo and then the destination name. Here's a couple more really great ones, and I just love that these are not only beautiful pictures, but they're real fun quotes. And these are the kind of things people like to share if the quote resonates with them. So here's some examples of destination-focused posts. So beach in Spain, talking about the Grand Bazaar in Istanbul. Great photos, really eye-catching bright colors in the Istanbul one. And here's an example, a beach in Bali, which is an example of a more exotic type destination post. And then here's Hawaii, which is more of a close-to-home destination. You can see that no matter what your specialty is, there's different types of posts that are going to appeal to your clients. Another great beach photo, the Aurora Borealis in Iceland. So they're not always going to be beaches and tropical things. They'll be Europe, they'll be cold weather destinations, things like that also. Some great Europe pictures. I think the colors in these are really beautiful. A lot of stuff on Facebook that you see, there's so much blue that seeing these great pops of like red and the brown and the green really catch your attention right away. So let's talk about some seasonal or national day posts. I know there's a lot of completely random national days. One that's coming up is National Happiness Happens Day, which would be somewhat fun to relate to travel. So these are World Wetlands Day and National Common Courtesy Day. So you can see that we figured out a way to tie destinations or travel in with these days. And these posts are fun for people to share also because they think, oh, great, you know, I want to share my sunshine with these friends, and then they'll share it and tag those people in it. So here's some examples of fun posts. And these are really just designed to make people have a positive association with you and your page, make them smile, keep you top of the mind. I very definitely think that is the only type of traffic jam I want to encounter on vacation. I don't know about you guys, and I very much so also want to be on that beautiful beach, especially today. So here's some more examples, napping under the palms, making some new friends, your idea of me time, then a winter destination focused post. And let's just look at some travel tips posts real quick. A couple just general travel tips, and then we have a packing tip for Cancun. Pack a colorful sarong and get a colorful blanket to bring back. Always a good fun thing. And again, with the nice bright colors that are going to catch people's attention, they may not notice the text at first, but they'll zoom in on those colors because your eyes are really drawn to them. So let's talk about some promotional or supplier branding posts. One of the first things I want to say is that all of these posts are dependent on your supplier filter within our system. So if you don't work with a supplier and you don't have their post set up to show on your site with us, that supplier's post will never, ever even show up in your posting queue on ESP. But even for a supplier that you do normally sell and that you do have included in your filter, maybe for whatever reason you don't sell the region of the world that they're talking about, you can also opt out of these posts just like any other post in our system. So here's an example of what we'd call a branding post. It's more of information about the supplier or a fun quote from the supplier or something like that. These aren't salesy in nature, but you may get sales from them. People may get interested enough to inquire about them, but it's not, you know, hey, $50 off or save 20% or anything like that. This post got a lot of views and a lot of shares, I think probably because it's such a great picture and we all want to be there. Share it in Kauai, beautiful pool right by the beach. Not many places better than that. And here's an example of a promotional post. This particular one I got from the Travel of Orange Facebook page. And when you click on this, it's going to take the customer to your site and this particular promotion on your site. So as Cynthia mentioned earlier with the trip request, if your client clicks on Contact Us, it's going to send that lead back to you and let you know exactly what promotion they were looking at, let you know who they are, let you know the information they filled out so that you can call them back. So let's look at some other aspects of travel posts. Not everything is just about the destination. Sometimes it's about what you can do while you're there. So we mentioned food before for the World Cuisine Wednesday. I know food is a big thing for me when I travel, but then I like to eat. So here's also a good example of something to do while on a destination wedding. I mean, maybe you want to go on a camelback ride on the beach or something like that. Different things to do and think of. Go to a glass-blowing demonstration in Murano while you're in Venice. Maybe go whale watching in Hawaii. So those are some examples, and then I just want to cover a few frequently asked questions, and then we'll have some time for you guys to ask us anything you like. So the first one, do you need a business page on Facebook in order to use ESP? And the answer is yes. It is free to set up a business page on Facebook, and Facebook does require that you use a business page while on Facebook acting as your business and not a personal page. I know sometimes it's challenging because people set up personal type pages as their company years and years ago, and they don't want to go through the whole process to convert that over, but I would really encourage you pretty strongly to do that sooner rather than later, because it's just going to get more and more painful as you get more people on there and get converted over. So will posts for non-preferred suppliers be sent to my page? We covered this already briefly, but as I said, no. Only posts for your preferred suppliers are even sent to your posting queue. You won't even see posts for non-preferred suppliers. And is there a minimum commitment? No. We want you to keep ESP because you love it, not because we're forcing you to keep it for some set amount of time. We hope that you're really happy with it and that you think the posts are really valuable, so that's why we want you to stay with it. We've had people ask why we use so many different types of posts. Why don't we only post destination posts or only post question posts? That's a great question. The reason is each one of those posts is designed to encourage a different feeling or reaction or a different type of activity that your customers are going to do. And we vary the types so that you're getting different types of engagement. Some of them are designed to get people to share them, the destination-oriented posts, the fun posts, things like that. Some are designed just to encourage comments in a discussion, the question post, multiple choice, things like that. Some of them are designed to increase the number of likes on that post, the National Day, did you know, general destination type posts. And then again, some of them are just designed to keep you top of the mind or show off some different types of travel options that people might not have thought of. Supplier branding posts, promotional posts, why use a travel agent posts, things to do while traveling type of posts. And one of the most recent ones we've heard is, my posts aren't reaching as many people as before. Facebook did change in January the algorithm that determines which posts show up in each individual user's newsfeed. And some people have noticed that the number of people their posts reach has dropped since then. So here's some ideas on how you can try to increase the reach of your posts. Think about taking some short videos when you're traveling and post them to your page. People love videos, and they love videos they haven't seen 10, 50, 100 times before. So thinking about it, you're sitting on a beautiful beach in Jamaica, you've got a great drink in your hand, and a bird swoops down and lands on your drink. Don't get irritated and shoo it off. Just pull out your phone, take a short little cute video of it, and then when you get back, schedule it for a Monday morning and, you know, show people that video. And Monday mornings are a great time because people have to go back to work and they're not so excited about it. And if you can post something fun and make them a little more happy, then they're going to tie that to you. Add some of your own text-only posts. Varying the different types of content that you have going to your page is going to help to increase views. And text-only posts are really best written by you anyways because everybody has a very different style when communicating. And so if I were to write a post for an agency that was much more corporate travel focused and they were very formal, it might sound odd if I wrote it because of the way that I speak and my inflections when I'm writing are going to be different. So those are ones you really want to make sure you're doing yourself. You can think about using the boost service within Facebook to boost some of the more relevant posts that you've seen. So a lot of our ESP users have been talking about this and they've had some really good success just spending a few dollars per day with Facebook. I'd suggest if you want to do that, just set a really small budget, do a couple of trials, see what kind of impact you get. You might get some additional new fans from it. If you're interested, we have our ESP user group on Facebook. You can request to be a member of that, and I'll accept it and let you in there. And you can read what other agents have been doing, ask questions. The agents that are on there are all really great, and they're happy to provide information about what they've done, answer questions, and you can get a sense for what type of results you might expect based on what they've done. So also, you can take a few of the more interesting posts during the week and share those to your personal page. Just caution you, don't overdo it. Less is very, very much more. So if you don't know how often you want to do that, maybe 1 out of every 10 posts that go to your business page, you share to your personal page. And vary the content. Don't always share videos. Don't always share text posts. Don't always share photos. But also see what works for you, because every agency is different and their fan makeup is going to be different. So they'll respond more positively to one type of post than another. So pricing. Your first ESP profile is $15 per month, and any additional profiles are $1 per month each. And I know you might be thinking, what do we mean by profile? So let's say you have your general agency page on Facebook, maybe your ABC Travel. Maybe you also have a Facebook page for your destination weddings or your river cruises. So you have River Cruises by ABC Travel. That would be a separate profile. So in that case, you'd be at $15 a month for your general travel profile, and then another $1, so $16 for your second one. Also, if you have Nextsite 2, then your first ESP profile is included with that. So you can save that $15 if you have Nextsite. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. If you have questions after this that you think of, please get in touch with us. We're happy to help. I'll leave the slide up while we do some question and answers so that you guys can see our contact information. But I'd love to get some of your questions now.
Thanks so much, Sarah and Cynthia. That was really fascinating. I love the statistic that there are 1.3 billion active Facebook users. That's in 2013, the population of China was 1.3 billion. So you just imagine
That's
having.
a good way to look at it. It's basically the population of all of China is on Facebook.
Right. And so if you have access to 1.3 billion active users, that's a good reason to be on Facebook. We have many questions. I will get to as many as we can. Are your technology solutions available to agents no matter which host agency or consortium they belong?
Absolutely. If you guys are a member of one of them and they work with us, then we'll ask you which one you're a member of. And the only reason we ask is so that if they have specials in our system, we can make sure that those display on your site. If you're a member of one that doesn't work with us, that's completely fine too. And if you're not a member of any, then that's also fine.
And the follow-up question to that is, what if they are a member of more than one?
That's also fine too. We have some agencies that are, and so we can activate the specials for both of the host agencies and or consortia that you're part of. Okay.
And the websites, the next sites, are they mobile maximized for mobile use?
Yes, the Nextsite 2 does pass the mobile-friendly test by Google.
And are these technology tools available to agencies outside of the U.S.?
Right now, just U.S. and Canada.
And would they then highlight the Canadian suppliers that presumably from the host agency to which Canadian agencies belong?
Yes, we do have. We can set you to have Canadian suppliers pricing as well.
We have some agencies that are in Canada that choose to have the suppliers that we have Canadian pricing for displaying Canadian pricing, and then also some of them opt to display additional suppliers just priced in USD, and in that case it will note what currency it's in when the consumer is looking at it so they can see. I think it more might be based on whether they're closer to the border or not, whether they want to do that, but that's an option. We can do it however the agency likes.
Okay, excellent. You mentioned towards the beginning that you can send out search engine optimization reports or tips. Is that something that you will email to everyone on the call? Or
I can email it, yes. If you guys want to send an email to sales@Passport Online Inc., I'd be happy to send them that document. It's great information. Just kind of explains how SEO works.
If agents already have a website, do you encourage them to have a second website, perhaps based on different specialties or niches?
Well, if you already have a website, we have our content only that we can add to the website. If you do have your own, if you have a niche website, then I would encourage you to have a second site.
I would also say that too, because that's going to just help you, because then that site will be all related to that particular topic, and so that's very definitely going to help with search engine rankings. So if you work with a specific specialty enough that you want to consider making a second site, then you're definitely going to have enough to say about that specialty.
Mm-hmm.
And what about agents that have more than one domain name and want to set up a separate site for more than one? Everything is just repeated for a second domain name?
They can either set up more sites, or we can work with them to essentially direct all of those domain names to the same site. So it wouldn't be that the content is repeated. It would just be that all of those multiple domain names just show the same website.
Okay. Here's a question that's interesting. Can you outline at least a couple of ways that that your website product is different from others out there, perhaps host agency websites?
The big difference is it's all about the supplier content. And so with our suppliers, we have the consortium suppliers, their filter, the exclusive. That's what makes us different. And just comparing our supplier list to other agency sites, you'll see. And I'd be happy to send you that supplier list.
And one of the things to think about when we're talking about the supplier content being what separates our sites is, think about what most people are going to be doing when they go to your site. They want to go on vacation. So what do they want to do when they want to go on vacation? They want to see where they can go. They want to see how much it's going to cost them to go here. They want to see how much it's going to cost to go there. So if you don't have any promotional content or offers on your website, then how is anyone that's going there going to be able to determine, is this destination even remotely in my budget? I don't know. If you think about it, if Amazon only had articles on it and they said, call us to buy something, and you had to call them and describe the product you're looking for and talk to somebody and then call them back later, do you think that Amazon would do nearly as much business? Mm-hmm. So having those options available for people to look at and find and get in touch with you when they find something is great.
Very good. Do you have posts that can be sent to Twitter accounts or Pinterest?
You can link up your Facebook and Twitter account. There's actually, I believe it's put out by Facebook, but it's a little app that interacts with Facebook, and every time the post is made to Facebook, it also goes to your Twitter account. And you can set that up. It's just a couple of clicks. It's really, really easy. Pinterest and Instagram, things like that, we're investigating having another social media channel for ESP. We don't know yet which that's going to be. However, I know Cynthia has a couple agents who are using, is it Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram.
And so they've been posting the ESP posts onto Instagram, and they seem to have had pretty good success with that. So it's not anything that you can set up to be automated to go to Instagram, but you could very definitely do it.
Yeah, it's really easy. What they usually do, they'll use their phone to go to their Facebook, take a picture, and then post that picture on Instagram.
Good idea. We have a few questions that have come in about niche agencies. If you have a niche, such as food and wine, are there enough posts available on different specialties to meet the needs of a niche agency?
There will be. They may not have multiple posts every day all related to that, but I think when you start looking at the posts and thinking about what is also related to that, I think there will be enough posts, because you may not want all the beach ones, but some of, for example, the Where in the World posts, some of those might be related to food and wine in the sense that it's a destination that's really famous for food and wine, or really famous for destination weddings or river cruises and things like that. So when you start looking at the post from that angle, I think there's a lot more content than you might think that would seem relevant. Also, travel quotes, things like that, are going to be relevant no matter which specialty you have.
One of our agents wants to know if all the posts on these websites are the same, among all the people who are using the ESP system.
So everyone that's using ESP has access to the same pool of posts. Now, not every agency will have the exact same posts every day because people can opt out of things. Some agencies have their maximum post per day set as 1. Some have it higher. Some are, opting out of posts. People have different supplier filters. So there's just a lot of variables into, which posts are being seen on how many agencies' sites. So I hope that answers it. Yes, everybody has access to the same post, but not everyone will necessarily always have the exact same post. And we keep ramping up the number of posts that we're scheduling per day, and as that happens, you'll see less and less people having the same one just because they have a larger number through each day to choose from.
Okay, that sounds great. In general, what are your suggestions for how an agent can get people to find them on Facebook and be able to look at all these wonderful posts they're having you post?
The number one thing, do you have the link to your Facebook page on your website? I can't tell you how many times an agent has asked me, how do I get more people to be a fan on Facebook? And I go to their website to find their Facebook page so I can look and see what they're posting, and I can't even find a link to it on their website. So if you don't have it on your website, it's going to be really hard for people to get to it. So I would say, first and foremost, make sure the link's on your website. Make sure the link's in your signature. Make sure you have a mention on your invoices or any kind of paper documents and or electronic documents you send out to clients. You could put it on your phone greeting or your voicemail message, things like that. If you're one of those agents who puts together really fun out-of-office auto-response messages, which some of you do, and I think that's great, and I've seen some really fantastic examples of that, encourage people, hey, I'm out of the office right now. If you want to see what I'm up to, go and follow me on Facebook. And then that way you're telling them I'm gone, but you're not telling them why. You're telling them to kind of go follow you on social media to get a sneak peek of where you're at in the world.
Great ideas. We have time for a couple of more questions. Before we get to them, I want to remind everyone that if you want more information or have additional questions, you can see the contact information up on your screen. And if you want to view this webinar again, because it's so chock full of wonderful information, we are recording the webinar. You'll be able to see it in the travel professional community in our webinar archives group. And also you can search for it on Tom Ogg's YouTube channel. Last couple of questions. How many email addresses can an agency set up on NextSite 2?
When you're set up, you get 5 email accounts. That's included in your monthly fee. If you need more, they come in blocks of 5 for $2.50 additional each month.
Okay, and our last question, do you have any special tools to manage groups on your website?
We do. We have a tool where you can, we have a tool called Promotion Publisher, and that allows you to go in and copy any offer we have in our system and make it, put in your own pricing, your own text. We also, with that tool, you can create your own offer so it looks like the rest of the offers in our system. And another thing, a lot of agents don't want to use that. They just don't have time. So what they'll do is they'll send us PDFs of their group, and then we just add that PDF to their site. So we do have the tools for them.
I would encourage anybody that's really focused on their groups, though, to go the promotion publisher route. I mean, I know it seems like a lot of work, but once you've done it a few times, it'll really only take you 10 minutes or so to put each group in there, and then it's done. But the benefit is anytime somebody goes to your website and does a search, that group's going to be returned just along with all the rest of the offers. And if anybody wants to see an example of that, how those can look on the website, send us an email. I know there's a couple of really great agencies that do a lot of groups and present them really well on their sites, and so we can send those to you. It might take us a little bit to remember who they are because, it's towards the end of the week. So.
And then, too, what's really nice as well is you can email those offers out. So you can go into Agentport, create an email with that offer, and send it out to your customers.
Fantastic. Our time is over. This hour has really gone quickly. I want to thank so much Passport Online's Sarah Bauman, social media specialist, and Cynthia Junke, sales and account manager, for helping us out and being our host today. Thank you so much, Sarah and Cynthia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you to all of our agents signed on to this call. We really appreciate your being here. So have a great afternoon, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.